that's true for regular poetry too. And I've learned that that's really unimportant. You like it or you don't like it. The words are music, the images are music, and sometimes someone explains a poem like in a note or something, I go, oh, I didn't get that. But did I like it? I liked it anyway. So I don't really care. I'm just going to read a few more, not from Sycorax Journal, but from the authors from Sycorax Press. It's not there. I thought it was so, oh, here it is. So, and of course I like these poems, so I had trouble picking ones I liked, but I'll just read a few. All right. This one by Rebecca Buchanan is How to Build an Altar to the Morrigan. And the Morrigan is an Irish goddess. She's a goddess of war. Actually, I might as well read the note. Rebecca writes good notes. The Morrigan is the Celtic goddess of war, fate, doom, death, strength, guardianship, sovereignty, and victory. And her symbol is usually the raven. I just did an online test to find my inner goddess, and I got the Morrigan, just saying. So watch out. Begin with a feather, black but iridescent, shimmering purple-blue when you spin it in the light. Next, a candle. White is best for bones and teeth and purity, and a bowl for blood, you may think. Yes, but more. Into the bowl, spill your fear, your anxiety, your bitterness, memories of betrayal and panic, the ache of self-loathing. Sacrifice your weaknesses, that which makes you less. Offer them to her, a feast for the raven who gorges on dead things, leaving only the vital and the strong. So that doesn't have to really be thought of as speculative, right? It's really about how you deal with the world. The next one is Gray Mare, and Rebecca wasn't sure if she wanted to keep it in. She said, does this work? And I'm like, I like it, because it's an unusual setting. It's very short. Gray Mare. He came home from the war and told her a tale of an iron gray mare who led his tank past metal carcasses through a field of mines on a moonless night, and then disappeared with the mist of dawn. It's really just this like moment, like this dreamlike moment, and then it's gone. And I'll read this one because I'm a librarian as my day job. It's called Welcome to the Library. And actually, for some reason, I don't remember how it came about, but something I posted on Facebook made her write this poem, and I don't remember what it was. My doors are always open. I don't mind if you're a bit grubby. I do like the smell of trees, but please wipe your feet. My caretakers are sharp-eyed and sharp-tongued, speak politely and never lie. I have lots of comfortable chairs. If you fall asleep, best to do it in the mathematics section. The fantasy books always need new heroes, and the mysteries always need new victims. If you pack a lunch, be sure to bring enough to share. The dragons sunning in the windows enjoy a good French cheese, and the cats slipping among the shadows are keen for asparagus. Children are encouraged to laugh and dance and play. The books will come out to watch. Don't worry about putting them back. They know their way home. Keep watch, though, as they may try to take some of their favorite children with them. Treat my books gently. I will know if you do not. So will my caretakers. When they ask how this page was torn or that spine was broken, do not lie, for it is not only the dragons and the cats who are hungry. So, and then, yeah, speculative poetry does not have to be serious all the time. Shannon Connor Winward's Year of the Witch is really kind of an unusual book because not all the poems are speculative. And it's set up according to the pagan calendar of the year. Mm-hmm. And it comes with, I see someone's interested in that. Each section is based on a pagan holiday. And what she does is she creates her own little ritual or something as like an introduction to that time of year. And then she has poems, and some of the poems are just real life poems that fit that theme for that year. So I'll just read a few of these too. Actually, I picked my favorites. So, Hell's Gardener for Julia. There is no sun in hell, no rain, of course, not even earth in the earthly sense. Just a firmament on which to orient, not up from down so much as then from now. And it hurts, of course. It seethes and burns, breaking the black rock and digging in, shredding what once was skin, her damned fingers worn to nubs like grinding teeth, to gums like glass under her spirit nails. Even still, she's got nothing but time to rest, surrender, rage open mouths, obsidian cracks to thumb her fruit down eternity's throat. There are no seeds in hell, but she came here plump as a pomegranate with all the good she never sowed. She splits her stillborn tomorrows, seeps blood pink. Regret in every hole and breathes intention like prayer, ignites miasmic air, incites hellflowers to bloom. There is no life in hell, of course, but there are gardens for her, blossoms of patience and penitence, pinwheeling rows of fire-drop petals, blazing yellow hearts, and I'm sorries, blue as sulfur flames, blue as she remembers hope to be. I'm going to read Come Kali, but I actually did not know what it was about. Kali is an Indian goddess who wears a necklace of skulls, and she's full of destructive energy. And you'll hear that in the poem. But when we were talking about the format of the poem, what I didn't get is a visual. Is you see how it's in two columns? What I did not know is that is the two towers coming down. So see, I should have said, how about we put a note about that? But anyway, so Come Kali. Her dark lips grasping, blood, tongue lapping, swallowing one tower whole, then the other comes Kali. Fire licks the steel, sticks free of ants, free of souls. Oh, comes Kali. Her black arms sweep Babel's streets, plucking children screaming to her breast. The great mother suckles us breathless. And Undoing Winter. I think she won an award for this. I just remember really loving it. I went into ground for you. I faced the guardians of the gates of hell. I gave away my jeweled bracelets and marched naked to the catcalls of the dead, all to rescue your sorry ass. And here you are, huddled on your mildewed throne, speechless as a shrub. I faced the shining wrath of the sun on your behalf while you cried your soul away. I made excuses to the earth and sky and fed the peasants gravel. Give it time, I said. She is composting. Come again tomorrow. But there's been 7 years of darkness, darling. Time enough to conquer demons with your gentle heart. We all know how lovely your sorrow can be. We know how well this dim underlight becomes you. But open your eyes, love. Behold your kingdom. You are just an idol of fungus here, sovereign queen of basements. I wrote this song for you, dear heart. I went to all this trouble. Now I'm standing before you and my feet are cold. In fact, I'm fucking freezing. So get your coat. It's a long way to the light, and I am leaving, and you are coming with me. There will be no more discussion, because I will not waste my breath. I need it to sing you home. When we get there, I'm going to take a long hot bath to wash away this grime. Then we'll have tea and cake on the veranda, and we will speak of spring. Until then, I don't want to see your face. You can write sonnets if you like, in praise of the Lord of Shadows. Paint some stormy watercolors, invent a flower. I don't really care, so long as you get started undoing this winter that you created. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, it's a really good poem. Darn, I didn't write that one. All right, so that's my non-me section. this is the me section. So I thought I'd do something weird, which is read one of my rare non-speculative poems, perhaps to demonstrate why I should stick to speculative poems, because it's never been published. I sent it out twice. Okay. Not a lot of trying, but you will recognize the theme. Sorry. It's called, don't worry about it. It's called Love School, and it's based on a true story. I will beat him up for you, my Hungarian carpenter says, learning of the boyfriend who's moving 12 states away and hasn't called, hasn't said he'll miss me. He'll be gone in a day or two. He hasn't even told me exactly when he's going. Over coffee, before he starts working, the carpenter says, tell me more. Maybe I can tell you why this happened. I give him a brief rundown. He sips, runs his hands through white curls. How many men have you made cry? None, I say. That's too bad, he shakes his head. Let me tell you a little story. I can't do a Hungarian accent, sorry. Years ago, I lost my job and my girlfriend. I lived across from a Barnes & Noble's. Every day I went there and read 4 or 5 self-help books. Then I put them back on the shelf. The best one was called How to Be the Kind of Jerk Women Fall For. You should study this. You are too innocent. I sip too. I think maybe he's right. I think I might have made my lover cry if only I told him how much it hurt to lose him. That last night when a shadow crossed my face, he'd asked, what are you thinking? Nothing, I answered. What I'd been thinking was, this may be the last time I see you. And it was. I said nothing to shield him from the guilt of my pain, not to make a scene. Maybe someday I should make a man cry. He didn't even bring you flowers. In Hungarian, we say a man like that has a heart. He scowls, flicks dismissive fingers at his chest. What is that in English? Cold? Cold-hearted, I offer? He nods. We say he has a hairy heart. For the first time in 3 days, I laugh. It's the first step towards becoming hairy-hearted. I personally like that poem, but apparently I'm alone. So on to the speculative stuff. So, okay. I'm just, actually, they're in alphabetical order because I went through my stuff that has amounts of time, and that was the easiest way to eliminate things that I had duplicate copies of, and then it's like, okay, the order is kind of irrelevant. So the first poem is The Bone Joiner, which was the name I gave to the collection. Why? Because that's a good title for a book. Who wouldn't want to be the bone joiner? And so this is an example of, it's not based on anything real. I just am warped. The music stirs as this rib slips into its slot of spine, a perfect fit. Eyes closed, I work the puzzle of the skeletons. With opened eyes, I'd guess and flub, each marring jar the humming out of tune. They sing the bones when they find their place. Duet at first, when part meets part, and then the swell of chorus as my work grows whole. Watching, she waits, the widow, wide-eyed now and hollow as straw, without the strength she used to row the skiff that brought him to me. The bargain struck, she'd cradled the corpse on her lap like a babe, gave herself up to weeping till I pried her fingers loose and took him to the fire. She would not heed me then, pretended maybe it was only stew a-bubbling in the pot. Ah, no, the seekers cringe from dissolution, no matter how well they know my art requires destroying before creation can begin. But now, as I join, she observes, listening to the clack of bone on bone, like the tune of knitting needles. Does she recognize this empty cage that held the heart she prized? Do these large fingers, unringed and unfleshed, recall the ones that laced with hers? Soon I'll pour the brew to clothe these bones again. He'll groan, eyes flutter open, lips smile to find her there. Between the seeker and beloved, the air will hum, a new harmony. Is that what love is then? deep in the bone, a music that fits one to another. I know of bones, but I don't know this. When I breathe my last, no one will care to bring me back, fit me together, rib by rib, and I cannot fathom loving anyone enough to wake them. Perhaps all joiners own this flaw, so we may go brisk about our business with a surgeon's ease. But always the seekers come to me. Children sometimes, mothers often, lovers most of all. They come as she has come, bones aching with soul's need. In an hour or two, he'll gasp and gulp. She'll clasp him round the waist and rush him to the skiff, hurrying from my dreadful isle towards home. I'll never know the story after, what dreams may grasp him in the dead of night, whether someday she'll grow to loathe that cold flesh in her arms, or if, the tale I tell myself through all the silent nights, they'll learn an even truer love and kinder. Long before sun sets, the sea will wash their footsteps from my shore, and I will only hear the hum of surf, wind rattling the dead trees' bones. Maybe I'll go out of order. Okay, I was just talking about this. So here's something based in real life, but also not. A couple of years ago, looks like 2015, in the news, I'm from Long Island City, which is, if you're in Arlington, everyone heard the news that Amazon is going to be moving to Arlington and Long Island City in Queens, that's where I'm from. And Long Island City was a seriously industrial place, and actually as a child, no one ever knew where it was, and I used to hate saying, where are you from? Long Island City. Where is that on the island? It's not on Long Island, it's Queens. But now it's like hot, hot, hot. It's one of the hottest neighborhoods in New York City, and they're just building these, it's amazing. So anyhow, so in 2015 on the news, there was a coyote in Long Island City. Now, considering Long Island City is right across either the Midtown Tunnel or the 59th Street Bridge from Manhattan, and it is incredibly urban. It is not near Queens, which is by Long Island. Like, how did a coyote manage to get there? I don't even, like, did he take the subway? It's kind of, and of course, coyote is in Native American Southwestern tradition is a trickster god. So, like, you know, how can I not write about it, right? So, coyote in Long Island City. Even Coyote bores of hipster bars in Williamsburg. He digs the industrial vibe in LIC, old factories shouldering in between the new glass towers. It feels like stuff becoming. Who knew they'd spy him skulking on the roof, eyewitness news dogging his every step before he had a chance to slip the furs and shrug on vintage leather? Don't worry, Coyote knows a thing or two. He can't be caught. True, sometimes his fur gets singed. He lost an eyeball once amidst the stars, but then he won Moon's Vantage, spying over everyone. He's still got an eye for cool. He's armed with spray cans in 3 colors, just in case the condos rise too slick, to keep things honest and alive. Loving the liquid babble of a multitude of tongues. Where else should Coyote come but Queens? The old word slinger slinks into the bar, tuning a hairy ear to the poet's jazz and jive. Much time. I read a lot of other people's stuff. All right, let's see. All right, this is unmasking. I won't tell you because I'll have to tell you at the end. Otherwise, I'm not unmasking anything. Unmasking. Never say you minded. Never say you didn't guess it was my quickening inside her that made verses fly from her lips like frosty breath up to the winter stars. Do not lie that you preferred the pale girl hiding behind night black hair, too shy to ask for kisses, to sly me who never asked, just took them. Foxes are thieves by nature. I can't be blamed for stealing your heart. Never say that under the gleaming egg of the full moon you did not spy my true self. Glimpse eyes of golden smoke, fur red as sunset nuzzling autumn maples, hear the snap of fine, sharp teeth each time I nipped your nape in play. Unmasked